YouTube, welcome back. This time with a new genre, but my third passion in gaming, racing games and racing simulations. Since the OG 1996 Microprose Grand Prix 2, not to mention the PlayStation 1 Gran Turismo and of course all the classic Need for Speed games, the racing genre had me hooked, and today I got the possibility to get my hands on Wreckfest 2 as a content creator. I never thought I could give me that label. So let me thank you for your support on Witchfire and Jagged Alliance. You guys made it possible. Thank you also to Lurkit for providing the key to the Wreckfest 2 early access. Recently, Wreckfest 2 got a new update, and I played roughly 10 hours of Wreckfest 2 until now. So it's time for a short and witty review and what I think Wreckfest 2 is lacking the most at the moment, but also what is pretty dope about the game. To round it up, it wouldn't be a channel typical video if I didn't come up with a few helpful tips, especially for newcomers to the world of Wreckfest. So within my 10-hour playtest I truly had a blast. It was hell of a fun, the visual representation is phenomenal and so is the audio. Even though the game lacks a soundtrack, which hopefully will be added later to the game. But do you really need music if you can listen to the roaring engines and the sound of metal when crashing into your foes? I mean, look at that, isn't that beautiful? With a full lobby of 24 cars like that, even if you don't win the race, it's so much fun to simply enjoy the chaos around you. I mean, look at the car flying, it got me laughing so hard that, don't think and drive, guys. But besides that, I almost also heard a blast from my graphics card. Because even though the game lately saw some performance updates, especially with the VRAM usage, it does not have any form of in-game FPS limiter yet. So your graphics card works on 100% speed all the time to deliver the maximum amount of frames. My first tip of the day, go to your local graphics card, tuning options and set a FPS limit so you don't need to rely on the warranty of your graphics card. But that is just a side note, and the game still simply looks phenomenal. As for more beginner tips, I can highly recommend to play with drive assistances on, as long as you're getting comfortable with the tracks. But please turn them off as soon as you get the hang of the game. In order to change the drive assistance, simply start a new game or join a lobby and select assists. Turning off all assistants except for stability control will already improve your speed, while setting stability control to half didn't affect my speed but seemed to be quite beneficial. The other assistances will slow you down massively and the feel of the cars will change drastically once you turn off the assistance systems. You will really start to feel the torque of the cars, especially the muscle cars like the Rocket and Road Slayer. But you need to be able to control your gas pedal. So if you constantly floor it, you will spin more often than you'd like. Speaking of the Road Slayer and Rocket, I highly recommend to play one of the heavier cars when you start the game, and especially if you're in larger lobbies. In games with 24 or more cars, you are very likely to get a lot of hits, and the smaller cars will get damaged and pushed around heavily, sometimes to an extent that will simply put you off the track or even out of the race. So try the heavier cars first and adjust your car choice depending on the map and the lobby size. And I can highly recommend to shift manually, since you'll be able to drift more consistently and you won't fall into low revs and you will not have enough torque and power after cornering. So let's come to some of the downsides of the early access. Well, I already mentioned in the beginning, there is no soundtrack yet. I personally can live with that because I usually turn off the music anyway. A little frustrating at the very beginning of the early access was the online browser, because it would always show full lobbies when in fact the lobbies are quite empty or populated with bots. This, however, has been fixed with the recent update and the lobby browser now works as intended. But currently you can't play the Destruction Derby online yet, you only have normal races available. Anyway, when you find a suitable lobby, the players are amazing and the chit-chatting after the races brought additional smiles to my face after almost every race. Even if you don't win the race, it's a lot of fun. So yeah, tracks. There's not a lot of tracks as of version 0.2, and to be honest, that is actually one of the biggest lacklusters of the early access. Don't get me wrong, I know early access and I'm totally fine with it. This game has so much potential that I can't wait for them to implement more tracks. For example, I'm really looking forward to some winter tracks with snow and ice, as well as some rainy tracks, maybe with big puddles and stuff like that. But what the game is really lacking right now is the progression system, or a career mode, something that rewards you for playing. In Wreckfest 1 you could unlock a lot of things, and in the current early access of Wreckfest 2 you got none of that. Yes, this will come in the future and I will keep coming back to race 4 or 5 matches, but the lack of unlocks of tuning and progression keeps me away from playing the game more than half an hour in a session. Well, I kept playing Gran Turismo for 8 hours straight on the weekends because I had so much fun to unlock and buy new cars, and yes, this will also be the case for Wreckfest, we're just not there yet. If I can point out a few other things that I wish will be implemented in the future, then it's a rev limiter. Right now, every car's limiter is between 0 and 10,000 revs, but the cars actually have different limiters. Some go up to 8k, while other cars will have their limiter at 7,000 revs already. So I would suggest a thing, then please add a rev limiter or reduce the scale so it fits the car you are driving. This will make shifting manually much easier because the sound of the motor can be a little bit irritating and you will see yourself in the limiter a lot of times. Anyway, the gameplay feels great. It's so much fun to race. I can't highlight that enough. It's so much fun to race. It's so much fun to see others crash and of course to crash on your own. That my verdict right now is quite split. Is the game yet worth the price? Well, if you think ahead, it's already a good investment, and if you like the genre and plan on coming back, you can surely buy it now. But if you're short on the buck, a little more patience is totally fine and you can buy the game in a later version of the early access. Guys, I really hope you like the new genre and I will for sure keep you guys updated on Wreckfest 2. Let me know in the comments if you're a racing fan as well, and I'm really interested in your opinion, guys. What do you think of Wreckfest 2? So leave a comment below. That's it for today. Thank you for coming back to the channel and as always, have a good one.